everybody, welcome back from spring break. This is day 8, and today we're going to be starting our topic on the water cycle and how water is moving specifically through our terrariums. Here's your due dates. Please note that we've modified this a little bit, and your assignments are now due at 7:30 the day of your next class, so you've got a little bit more time than what you had before. So today, you can start by filling in your due date as always. And the first thing you're going to do is go over to Schoology and update your blog. This will be your third entry on your terrarium blog. So if you don't have entry number 2, make sure that you update maybe what it looked like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, please. But yeah, this should be your third entry. So put today's date, make sure to give us lots of good observations. And you can focus today on the plants, but also on the water, since today's assignment is about the water cycle. Tell us where you see water, how big are the drops, how much water are you seeing? Give us all those details in your terrarium blog. After you've done that, come over here and watch this video about our phenomenon. And once you've done that, just like we do in class, please give us 3 things that you noticed during the video, anything that you observed that you found interesting, and 3 things that you wonder now that you have seen that video. After that, you're going to come down here and make a hypothesis. How is it possible that that man had a terrarium for over 40 years, never watered it except for the day that he planted it, and one time 10 years later? How is it still alive? How has it not run out of water yet? So give us a hypothesis in this box here. Next, you're going to go over to BrainPop and watch the BrainPop video about the water cycle. Here's the username and password here. Watch that video, and as you're watching, you're going to write down the 6 steps of the water cycle that they talk about in the video. So here's a hint. You'll find them in the corners. They're in black, but not everything in black is a step of the water cycle. For example, at one point, they're going to say the word hydrosphere. Hydrosphere is not a step of the water cycle. It's just the name for all of the Earth's water. And at one point, they also have the water cycle as a box here, but obviously that's the name of the whole cycle. So be watching for parts that are steps of the water cycle, such as runoff. Runoff is when you have water moving across the Earth's surface. For example, it can go in the form of rivers and streams. It can even come from the mountains, glaciers, waterfalls. Those are all examples of runoff. Okay, so once you have filled in the 6 that were in the BrainPop, you're going to look for a couple more using these websites. What are some of the other steps of the water cycle? And for example, if you saw something in the BrainPop video in which you didn't quite understand what it was, then these 3 websites will really help you better understand what the steps were. Because what you're going to do next is you're going to put in the image of your terrarium, the same one that you used in your blog, that's fine. And then you're going to come over here and give us 3 things that you see of the water cycle that are happening in your terrarium. So for example, maybe you see water droplets that are sliding down the side. In my terrarium, I see the trail that the water has kind of left behind, and I see these streaks that go down the side of it. That would be an example of precipitation because we've got water that's being pulled down by the force of gravity. So here in this first box, I could type in precipitation, and then I could explain how I know, looks like I spelled that wrong. How do I know that there's precipitation? Well, I see that there's streaks on the side, water is being pulled down by gravity. And that would be my answer to the first one here. And you're going to do that for at least 2 other things in the terrarium that you're seeing that come from the water cycle. And then the second question here is there anything happening in your terrarium that's part of the water cycle that we can't see? Is there anything that's happening in there that might be too microscopic or too small for us to see? Or is there something happening that might be obscured or hidden by the soil, etc.? And you're going to write about that in this box here. Okay? So after you've done that, here's the list of your next class. And please don't forget to go back right now and push submit when you finish your assignment. If you push submit, that's how we know that it's ready to grade. All right, good luck. Thank you.